is in the building today. Woo-hoo. Smash show out the gate.
Boom. Breaking records.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
Yo, first of all, a premiere rating record. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means it's the highest rated show on Stars in their history for a premiere.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I have got a lot of thanks for Mr. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, the marketing machine. So very grateful for that. But I think that, that
but
also
he markets all of them, let's be honest.
That's true. That's true.
He markets all of them very well.
That's true.
But for some reason, yours...
Well, to quote 50, he has always said that the natural progression of the original show was the Tommy spinoff. The show was about these two brothers,
right,
and one of them is dead. And so the progression there is to follow the other brother and on that journey. And really, it made the Power world into the Power universe. Somebody had to leave New York, and somebody had to be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. And I love how they slow rolled, like they made you disappear, and they waited to like that little reveal with you and Tasha at the end of the
Ghost show.
Yeah, the Ghost show.
Yeah.
It was just enough to me, like I miss him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's Tommy.
Yeah.
And then that made you feel like I can't wait for the show. It's just all well done. Just well done. And then the show's good.
Yeah, it really is.
Great.
The cast is fantastic. I mean, from Tommy Flanagan to Isaac Keys, Chris Lofton, we really have a spectacular cast, and I love that the world is really taking to them.
Well, who's the girl? The girl that was in Banshee.
Banshee? Oh, Lily Simmons. She's fantastic.
She's dope.
She's as beautiful.
I love Banshee. I feel like Banshee was underrated.
Great show. Great show. I played a very different character on Banshee.
Yeah, a little different. Slightly different. You've been on a lot of shows. We'll get to that today. But where are we now?
We're on episode 3 comes out 8 p.m. on Stars or midnight if you have the Stars app.
So when I did, because I got a screening before it came, so I got to see the first.
Oh, you got to see first 3.
I saw the first 3.
Yeah, you were in the
I hit you right away.
You were in the platinum echelon.
I know people. Joe.
Hey, I know people.
I got people who know
you
people.
You got people.
Sometimes I get things and I don't watch.
Yeah.
This, I was like, ooh, I want to watch this.
Oh, great.
And so then I DM'd you.
Yeah.
And was like, wow, you did what you were supposed to. You came
you were
and delivered. I was so happy.
And I know that, I know you're just a truthful person, so that meant extra to me. I know that you would never have done that if you didn't think that. So I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah, no, you could tell that there was a lot of heart, and it just, the whole thing was dope. And it's so funny because you as Tommy, your New York accent, but you spent a lot of time here.
I mean, 23 years, so.
Okay, so it's kind of, it's real
enough. I mean, I based it on a lot of things, but like, a lot of it was based on like my people like Dezel, Casely will love this, is that so much was based on the guys from Style Wars. So like even from, I mean, I'm talking about from Scene to Min 1 to Dez, like it's kind of an amalgamation of all those guys. Even when Scene says there was an improv that Tommy did in one of the seasons when he goes, they're like, what's that? And I said it wasn't really, never really. And that's the Scene actually says that. Right. And so it's like stealing from some of these guys. It's like, that's some never forgive action. So it's like some of these things. Then also just listening to Fifth. So
it's so old school too. It's like old school New York.
There is old school New York on the base, but then he uses those expressions and isms that he would have in Southside Jamaica, Queens. And then, so it was important to spend enough time with Fifth and get those down. And watching a lot of his interviews too. Yeah. A lot of hours of 50 Cent interviews.
Really? Did you watch some of ours?
Of course.
50 and I have had some classic ones.
Yeah, because you guys go into real detail and depth about his, the intricacies of the music and how personal it is to him. And
he's so like he just obviously he just talks.
He doesn't hide anything.
He doesn't hide anything, which makes for a good interview.
Yes.
But you're so good at your New York accent that I almost forgot you were from Chicago.
Yeah.
So when they said the show is set in Chicago, I was like, why? And then I realized, oh well.
But that had nothing to do with me. I mean, they just basically they lost. And I probably shouldn't have said that. I see Renee looking at me. Well, I mean, a lot of things have to do with taxes, and I don't think necessarily Los Angeles was that. I think Chicago is an incredible backdrop. But when they said it to me about Chicago at first, I was like, hey, listen, you could shoot this in Toledo. Nothing against Toledo, but I said, it's not New York. It's not home.
Right.
So, wherever I get to, I got to move. And I haven't lived in Chicago like that since.
And it's cold as shit. It's in Chicago.
I know we get the beep, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
So literally on that first episode, when they're doing my coverage when I meet the Flynns, it was -13.
Ouch.
And then the next day, when they did their coverage, it was 36. Which is still cold.
Okay.
But nowhere near -13.
No.
So when I'm dying, I look like I'm dying inside, and I'm scared of Walter Flynn. I mean, I'm scared of Walter Flynn, but I'm also like dying.
Freezing. Really?
I said to a certain somebody, I said, if you ever write something like this again, you're wearing what I'm wearing on that day.
What did you have on? I don't remember.
Just nothing. I was like this.
Yeah.
And the Tommy haircut. Yeah, you know, I'm on the lake. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Not fine.
Yeah, not fine.
Hey, it's part of the gig.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Listen, baby.
You got a great gig.
It's
you
a
got
great
a great gig.
It's a great gig. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. When you talk about like working actors, and I mean, you've been at it for a long time, and you've been
35 years.
a lot of different. 35 years?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! I didn't realize that. I mean, I know you were like a kid at it.
Yeah. My first professional play was 35 years ago.
What was it?
The Little Prince.
Oh my God! Where's the video?
If you please, draw me a sheep. It's out there somewhere.
It's definitely out there.
Yeah.
The video of you and Michael Jordan is out there.
Yeah, I was 13 in that. And
13.
That shot pretty close to my neighborhood.
So when you're 13 years old, you booked this job
Yeah.
to be in a commercial with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Are you a Michael Jordan fan?
Of course.
You're from Chicago.
Of course, I'm a Michael Jordan.
Do you have
human.
a small 13-year-old heart attack? What happened?
I did. It was literally, I think that's probably, if superheroes were real, I think that's how you would feel. It's like seeing if if the Marvel universe was real and Thor walked in, or like Iron Man, you'd be like, oh my God. Like looking at Michael Jordan like that in the commercial, which you can Google, I'm sure people have.
I'm going to put it right here while you're talking,
all
right in the bottom.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that look up and I'm like, it is Michael Jordan. I mean, that was a kid like, oh my God.
Was he nice to you? Because I hear 50-50 stories.
He's Michael Jordan. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, good. I think Nori told me a funny that he was just rude to him, but in a way that he like enjoyed it because it's Michael Jordan.
Do you know the other Michael Jordan story with me is that I was working security at a club in Chicago called Le Passage, and they assigned me to to some of the celebrities that would come, or just make sure that, you know, nobody messes with Bill Murray, or like, you know, all these.
Did
other
you have
things.
Bill Murray also?
He's fantastic. That guy's lovely.
He's gotta be.
But then Michael Jordan was there, and like, you know, there'd be like these beautiful girls. Oh, like, can I say hi to Michael? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what are you doing?
You're supposed to be
like, nobody come, like, I'm just trying to chill. And he told me that I was, you know, terrible at my job, and he was right.
Does he know that about you now, that you are that guy?
Michael Jordan doesn't think about me, and probably is.
No. Michael Jordan has absolutely watched Power.
You think so?
Of course. He's not in a bubble. The whole world.
I know. Sometimes I forget.
Are you surprised by that? How many people know you from the show? Or
I still get surprised sometimes. Yeah. Like I got nervous to say anything.
Who was the biggest? Yeah. Who was the?
I couldn't even approach Nas in LA a couple of days ago.
What happened?
I couldn't approach him.
What do you mean?
I'm like, oh my God, it's Nas. Like,
and
I could touch him if I wanted to.
And he knew you. Clearly.
I mean, I don't. Who knows?
He didn't say hello?
No.
Nas has definitely watched Power. Nas is from Queens.
I know. He's probably watched Power, but you know what a legend. But also Mary's a legend. But I know Mary at this point, and so it's.
And Mary's a fan. I've heard her tell you that.
And I'm a fan.
Before
of her,
she was on the show,
before
she was on the thing, she was a Power fan.
Yeah, legendary. And D Nice, I was such a D Nice fan. Like D Nice couldn't believe that I was like spitting his own bars back to him, like from his, his second album, even To the Rescue. And
he was like, what? No, Joe is a real hip hop fan. Yeah, I remember you came up with the cast of Power, and we did the words. What song? We were like doing some song. It was an Eric B and Rakim song, I think, and we got the whole cast.
Yeah,
it was like a sing along. I'm gonna find that video
probably ain't no joke or something.
Yeah, it was one of them. So you must be having a good time.
I'm having a great time. You know, I get to chill with my man Renee all the time. Go around the world with Renee.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great, and you know, really just so grateful for 50 believing in the character at a really early part of the.
Did you know it early,
struggle.
or was there a moment where
Fifth told me season 3? He's like, "Oh, that's it. It's your show now." And it's not saying it's not Omari's show, of course, but it's like, you know, it was like he's like, "This is it. There's more to this character." No matter what happens.
How did he know? What do you think?
I just think that Fifth is one of those guys who really does get like Mark Canton, you know, whose idea it was originally. He just gets what's next. There's some people just have that feeling in their guts. They get it and then they stick to it. It's not only about getting the feeling; it's sticking to the guns of like, yeah, I'm right. So I think it's a multi-layered kind of gift, but the guy's got the gift.
Yeah. Well, both of them clearly have the gift, but 50
absolutely.
For sure has the gift.
Absolutely.
He has stuck through this whole. I mean, who would have even had the vision to think that from Power there would be you could do more than one spinoff and that it would actually work? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's also thought out too. It's precise. It's as much of a dreamer as it is a practicalist, and you need both components.
Are you mostly have like a work relationship with him, or you guys like hang out? Or are you like
mostly work relationship?
Are you doing barbecues?
Mostly work
in the
relationship.
Summertime or
no,
anything?
no, I'm not at that status. But you know, I think that there's a lot of mutual respect, and I think that that's obviously good. And I I know he's the boss. I treat him like the boss, but I think I have the luxury of having in as somebody I can call if I have a question about something.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. And then what about you as an actor? Because you playing a lot of drug dealers.
I played a lot of drug dealers at this point.
What do you think that is about you? What are you putting out in the universe that makes that?
I was a terrible minor drug dealer as a child, so now I get to remake that.
Were you? What were you pushing?
Well, let's not. We'll keep all that.
No, what were you pushing? Was it marijuana? Was it meth tabs?
I was selling a little bit of marijuana like everybody.
Everybody sells marijuana now. It's actually okay.
Sure. You know what else I sold, Angie?
What did you sell?
I sold
marijuana one time.
Hey, look at that! You're in
my life.
Welcome to the club.
I only was one time. I made one sale in the stairwell of my high school, John Dewey in Brooklyn. I made one sale, and I panicked.
You're like, oh my God, it's going to get back to me. I'm going to jail forever.
And that was it.
I sold spray caps. So I sold fat caps with softball caps, and I sold neat caps for spray cans. And I would put them in little baggies too and sell them to all these young writers.
What's the return rate on that? Is that
it was not, you can order them from the company. I got them from the company and like to my house, to my parents' house when I was like 15 in high school. And like a big, huge box comes and it's just filled with caps. And I'm like, ooh. And it was cheap. It was cheap, and I made some money on that.
Wait, what was your tag name? What is your tag name?
I was gonna leave all that out.
Come on,
no, because I'm still dumb enough to put it up on stuff.
Oh, so you're still writing on the walls illegally?
It's a hard, it's a hard. And I sent some pictures.
Wait, we don't know your tag name? Come on, Joe.
I was with Search, right? I did Search's podcast, and on the way home, I hit not only the A train, but when I transferred to the F too, I hit the F and the A and the F train.
Shut up right
now. I did
now.
insides, and then I sent him to Casey, and he's like, "Yo, you lost your mind." He's like, "This is a felony. They're gonna get this back to you. You gotta stop this shit." I was like, "Come on, man. I'm just having." Okay, all right, you're right. I can't risk that no more.
You can't be writing on the train.
I know, but I'm like, I got a mask and a hat on. They don't even know who I am.
And this is a current thing.
This was like last month.
Oh my God!
But
Joe.
I put Search up too though, so he was happy.
I really need to know your tag. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So are you nice though? Like, are you like? I haven't seen your work.
I'm not as nice as Dez, but yeah, man, I get down with a can, sure.
Yeah, I also used to get down with a can back in the
day.
We had a lot in common.
Okay, me and you. Okay,
I used to go in Washington
I feel
Heights.
I feel a versus coming on.
You want to battle? Yo, I will battle you.
I'll battle you.
I do.
You heard it here first.
It goes down.
What wall? Where are we gonna do this wall?
I'm not gonna tell you my name
how about
either because
how about we'll do it the Tats train. Nicer and BG set it up.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
I'm down. I feel
like you're joking and you're sleeping on me.
I'm not joking.
I feel like you're sleeping on me. You think I can't shave?
I didn't say none of that. I don't know. I said, but I'm up for the challenge.
I'm just saying. I did. You know, in Washington Heights, by Fort Tryon Park, you know they have like an entrance that goes to the train
all the way
yard.
down there. Yeah, by the Amtrak.
I've been down there.
Hey, I've been down there too.
It's terrible down there.
It's a little stinky. A lot of bird poo.
It's terrible down there.
And you also got the refinery over there close. So there's like the big smell across on the other side of
it's not pleasant.
West side. Yeah,
it's not a pleasant scent. But I was.
But you were down there.
I was down there.
Listen, man.
It was a prideful moment for me. In my little graffiti, you know what I mean? It was prideful for me.
I appreciate that. And you can't be like Eve and try to do some wild style piece and have it rain and then blame the weather. You got to finish that piece.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what happened. Oh. I said, they're like, Eve's like, oh, you're just doing this. I said, man, I'll rock a straight letter like this all day because I'm finishing in a half hour.
You're really good, I can tell.
No, I'm all right. I'm just fine. I put up the power piece that I did on the Tats train on my Instagram.
Was it good, Renee?
It's just a straight letter. It's all right. 3-color fade, some shines.
It's all right. He doesn't.
Little 3D. It's not bad.
All right.
Not blowing minds with it, but
not blowing minds. But the fact that you are still illegally attacking trains as a television star,
and I still I can't help I follow I'm like I still have my favorite writers here, my favorite writers there. When I went back to Chicago, I'm like, oh, I like this guy. He's nice. And of course, he blew up and. You know, it's
do you
fun.
spend money on art like graffiti art like
a little bit? My guy Heckle, who was the head of the X-Men crew in Chicago, rest in peace, Uncle Heck. I bought a piece off of him. It was the first graffiti piece that I bought, and I don't know how much else I did. Like when I do cards for people, sometimes I'll do a piece on the front, but like pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll spend some time on it, but little gifts here and there for people for sketches and whatnot. But it's a big part of my life. It shaped my life in a way. So it's a part of my history and certainly a part of my identity.
I love that. Will we see your work at some point? I mean, will there be like a Joe, Sikora, a.k.a. whatever your tag name is.
My crew
show.
is J4F, so you can.
All right, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna put on my journalistic hat.
I'm pretty easy to find. I'm just trying. It's not
trying to make it
no big
intriguing.
Yeah,
it's working.
Trying to be mysterious.
Yeah, it's good. Everybody got to be. Your favorite actors have to be mysterious. I love about your acting career that because you've been working for a long time, but clearly you would say this is
absolutely
your big
there's
moment.
Nothing bigger than this.
And so, how old were you when you first started Power?
First started Power, I was 37.
So in the actor's world, that's kind of a late start to have
fame. Yeah, some sort of celebrity. Sure, I was a journeyman. I'm a journeyman. You know, I've done 50 professional plays. I've done film and television for.
But you could still go to the mall doing those things. Yeah,
easy. Yeah, nobody would recognize.
It's different.
You. No, it's different.
Fame is a different thing. I shouldn't say it's not about your acting. It's fame.
Fame.
It's like you got to fame in your late 30s.
Yeah.
Which in the acting world is a little later.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
it's not quite the boxing world or anything, but yeah, it's
but yes.
But yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
At any point, were you discouraged? Were you thinking that?
My whole life I was discouraged. I wouldn't wish this life on my worst enemy.
Really?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And I tried to live in Los Angeles. It's the only time. I mean, I'm a big proponent of mental health, and I wish I would have had more help in that way. But man, I was dark. I was dark when I was in LA.
Why so?
Hopeless.
Was it just people telling you no all the time?
The time. Talking about like you're not there. Talking about your visage. You know, like what you look like, and you know, I've had my nose broken several times, and you know, it's a big schnoz anyway, but it's like, you know, oh, you should get your nose fixed, you should get this fixed, you should do this if you were more like this. Like my manager in New York when I got here, who I loved, who was my manager for many years, Myrna, she goes, okay, let's be honest, you're a 7, but you're sexy's a 10. and so it was like, you know, at least I had somebody being honest with me. In LA, it was just kind of all this duplicity, and it was treacherous.
It tough.
It almost took me under. So every time I got a chance to come back to New York or Chicago, I would for a play or any job, I was like, let me get here. And then finally I was just like, what am I doing going back to LA? I'm staying. I'm not leaving again.
Yeah. That's probably inspiring though to a lot of actors who are probably on the grind and maybe 25, 28, 30 and it still hasn't really happened for them. It's still gonna happen.
It's got to be a calling for you if you don't give up. Like when I was like, you know, I talk about my semi-pathetic amateur boxing career every now and again, but I only stuck with it because, you know, I loved the sport. And it wasn't like I had a great record or anything, but it was something that I was like, I felt a calling. Like, I want to go back. You know, I want to train. I want to go back for the Saturday fights. I want to compete in the gloves. I want to do these things. And for acting with me, it was like there was no plan B. It was like, this is what I do.
That's it.
That's it.
If you don't have that
drive, do not do this. It's crushing. It's
treacherous. People only see the highlight reel. So
and I would have kept doing this. I would have kept doing my little coaster, just keeping myself alive. You know, being on unemployment, putting up drywall, taking the 7 train to Sunnyside to work with the crew every now and again to like just make a little bit of money to support myself. I would still be doing that and doing my off Broadway stuff. I'd never stop. I'll never stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Good for you, man. That's an amazing story.
There's a perseverance that I have that you have to have. You have to believe in yourself. And if I'm being honest with you, Angie, I always felt like some big's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Something big.
You have to believe first, right?
Yeah.
They always say that. You have to believe first. So otherwise, what the hell's
I really did believe. I always did believe. You know.
Why? Did you know this was coming? No, you couldn't have known this was coming.
No, because I just said in another interview when I was talking about the Power show, is like I initially passed on the audition because I had other small things going on here and there, and I was getting married and all this stuff, and I read the script and I was like, yeah, it's a good script, like it's fun, but I'm like, they're gonna hire some pretty boy who knows nothing about nothing, and that's how it usually goes. Mm-hmm. But not this time.
Well, thank God you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Now here we are. And this show's gonna have seasons. You already picked up for what? The next one, right?
I don't know if it officially came out with or not, but I'm pretty sure it will.
You broke the record on the
I know.
I think you're pretty safe.
I don't know what they're waiting for, but whatever.
I think you're pretty safe.
I feel pretty safe.
So I know you're married.
Yeah.
How is the sex scenes? How is that going? Is that uncomfortable?
My wife is in the industry, so
she's all the way okay?
She's all the way okay. She's,
Is it weird for you? Because I know I asked Lala about it, and she's like, it's super weird.
Yeah, well, I won't comment then. It wasn't weird for me. I was like, hey, this is called a fringe benefits, for example. was like, all right, just don't be a creep, Joe. Just don't be a creep. You know, no,
that's the thing you have to tell yourself.
No,
right?
but literally with Lala, especially, it was incredibly choreographed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
because it was her first time doing
that.
Oh,
and that's nothing against Lala. Lala knows how she wants to look, and I admire her incredibly with her artistic eye. Lala has a very precise artistic eye and knows how she wants to be represented, and she's a strong woman, and she will get what she wants.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
impressive how she operates, and she's always very respectful to everybody involved. So a lot of love for Lala.
Yeah, she was telling us that she was actually gave advice to Cash Doll. She from BMF, she had to do it, so she was giving her advice about the angles and how to hold. It's like you said, choreographed. But still awkward. But she was sharing some of that, what she has about that.
My job is really to make sure that the female is as comfortable as they possibly can. There's obviously sex scenes in the Force show that Gabrielle Ryan had to do, who was quite nervous.
She's really dope too. I like her a lot.
She is dope. She's great actor and a great person, and she's this show is everybody's gonna find out.
So what can you tell us about what's going to happen on the show? Can you? I know you can't tell us anything, but
I can tell you some stuff.
You can't tell us I mean, don't ruin anything, but
yeah, no, I won't ruin anything.
Just give us what are we looking at? What are we looking like here for the rest of the? What are we committing to in this show?
Well, I think that this is the first time you're gonna see all of these things. Like Tommy's Tommy's mistake is gonna be feeling himself or thinking that Chicago is Queens, or New York. Because it's not, and it looks like it should be, and there's a similarity even in attitudes and patterns and stuff, but it's not. There's even just being back there, Chicago is more of the Wild West in some ways. New York is, come on, there's no city like this city in the world.
No, but there's an arrogance about New Yorkers. When they go to different places, they think they could be anywhere.
New York will give you a chance to get out of your fuck up. Gosh darn it, sorry.
That's okay. You're good.
So New York will give you, you did what now? You want to say that again? Something like that.
Right.
Whereas Chicago, they just shoot first. And then it's almost like a Tommy town. But it's like everybody is kind of.
So Tommy's going to bump his head a little bit in Chicago.
I think Tommy's going to bump his head a little bit in Chicago and maybe be brought down to earth if he ever thinks that, I got this. These people. Because there is that New Yorker thing when they go somewhere else, from New York.
Right.
She's talking about,
I don't know shit. I'm from New York. I know everything.
Nah, son. Nah. I'm from New York. You ain't got nothing on me, son.
You gonna learn?
And it's like, I'm gonna learn what Brooklyn's all about. But Chicagoans, there is a super pride in Chicago too. My wife always calls it the cult of Chicago.
Is she from Chicago?
No.
She's from New York, right?
She's from out here. Yeah.
Hey, you did good. You got yourself a nice New York girl.
That's right.
That doesn't mind your sex scenes.
I don't know if she minds or not. She doesn't want to watch them.
She doesn't. No. She's not like, ooh.
No, when we were at the premiere, she was like, she just going, oh boy. Tell me when it's over with.
She must be thrilled for you. This must be exciting for your whole family.
Yeah, she's incredibly private. So the fame, and I say when anybody wants a picture, ask Renee. I say yes every time. I said this is not my job to say no. If somebody needs me to say no, that's your job to say no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yes, and they're like, no, we are on a schedule. I'm like, well, then you need to tell that person that we're on a schedule because I'm gonna stop and take a picture with everybody, unless I'm with my wife, and then I look to the boss and I say, boss, I take a picture or what? And she'll go, no, we're eating, or something like that. I'll be like, after we're done eating, please. I'm like, no problem. When we're done eating, everybody, I'll take that picture.
What is that? Is that because you feel so? I'm the same way as you. I never could ever in life. If somebody asked me for something, a picture, or want to say hello,
because I feel like if that was me,
I could never in life say no.
I'm the same because it's how you that the reason that you have a job. But if somebody's disrespectful, it's one thing that I don't like, that I don't know why I don't like it, and maybe you can help me with it.
Okay.
Is that when people are like, I don't know, you look familiar.
Oh, stop it.
It's like, why don't you shut up for a second?
I get that.
Yeah.
Well, you look like.
Why do you look so familiar? Oh, can I do your homework for you too?
Yeah.
Should I take a driver's test for you?
People are just probably nervous and don't really know how to.
I know. I think it's also a self-confidence thing.
Yes, for sure.
It's also the difference between when the culture sees Tommy from Pop, they're like, Tom, that's it. That's Tommy.
Because
we made you.
They're not like, hey, Joe, right? It's like,
no, it's Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. Exclusively Tommy. Yeah. That's it.
I always say, call me Joe, call me Joseph, call me Tommy. Just call me.
You're definitely Tommy in the streets, just so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that.
Do they ever call you Gary Owen?
All the time.
No, they don't. Do they?
Yeah,
really?
but I'm just like,
Gary Owen says they call him Tommy all the time.
Yeah, they call me, like, every now and again. I definitely get Gary Owen enough. Or when somebody goes to me, you look familiar. I'm like, Gary Owen, do you know my comedy?
That's really funny.
I'm actually hilarious.
Poor Gary Owen.
Poor Gary Owen. I mean, I'd like to be 6'3". I'm not mad at that.
Is he 6'3"?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Oh, I had no idea.
He's as big as people want Tommy to be.
Is that a thing they tell you?
Yeah, you short. Like, I'm not short. You just want me to be taller. I understand.
My apologies.
Yeah, my apologies. Whereas the opposite happens with Fifth, because he's usually surrounded by such big people, and then they meet Fifth, and he's like this full-back tank. They're like, man, 50 will take care of a problem if he needs to.
No, 50 will.
Yeah.
Did you see what they did to your friend 50 in the memes after the Super Bowl?
and then of course, in classic 50 Cent style, he's like, oh yeah, I did this as the Spider-Man thing. And then he did him and his comedy show with the Spider-Man thing. And then he did all these things like just dropping in to sell his merch. He used it.
That's what he does best.
It's the best.
He's so
Puts
good.
it right on his head.
He's so good. They put him as bizarre though.
But it's also like, look at every time you ever see somebody throw a bad pitch at a baseball game, they mention 50 Cent.
Yes.
Every single time.
No, he told me that too. No. Yeah, he did that on purpose. Clearly, I always found that fascinating. And I think he admitted it, right? Did he ever say that publicly?
I feel like he did it on your show.
I feel like he did it here. Does everybody remember that? He threw the pitch out at the game, and it was that terrible pitch, and everybody talked about it all. And then he was like, "Yeah, well, if I would have thrown it good, nobody would have talked about it." Yeah,
just another pitch. And now, not only that day and like that time, but like now every time, forever. And no, you can't throw a worse pitch than that.
No, it was really bad. It was really terrible. But good for him. I mean, what a genius.
Yeah.
You probably do. You ever feel like you take from that?
Yeah, I mean, I try to take as much as I possibly can. He's been a good example, but also I see him be kind to people. I see him be honest. I see him uplift talent, and that's something that I know I've said probably on your show before, is that I said to Fifth, wait, Fifth, you always like pass the ball to us. He goes, I'm not afraid of talent. Because if you go up, I go up. I have to surround myself with people who are going to be so successful, because I want even more than that success. And if I lift everybody up, we all go up together. And it's true. I had somebody tell me falsely, vehemently, you can only be loved or feared. And it's so wrong, because if you're loved, then people are fearful of letting you down. And you need to be that, support your people, support the people underneath you. Try to raise them up.
I see you doing that too. You're always posting like young people or people to check out.
Yeah, and I'm being honest too. Like, people I think that are terrible, I will not post. I can't do it.
Has that happened to you? Have you gotten to set and then like there's an actor that's hired for a certain little thing and
Definitely.
You're like, this is pretty bad?
All the time.
What do you do when there's a bad actor across from you in a scene?
You just keep on keeping on. You just know that you can't react. You're just kind of acting. It's not as fun, but I mean, I've been doing this for so long that I can do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that probably an artist that's commissioned to do a piece that they don't really want to do, they can still do it. That's what they do. They're artists. They can draw and make that piece.
But it's not fun.
But man, when you get to do your own thing, it's like reading a book in school. You're like, God, man, Moby Dick, this book blows. And then you read it like later on when you want to read Moby Dick, and you're like, oh my God, call me Ishmael. Like, yo, this is this is amazing. I want to go hunt the white whale. So right. I think that's what it is. So when an actor is not capable, what actors, I feel like I see it more and more now than I ever have in my career. People trying to improv that are terrible at it. It's like, there are actual rules to this. Like, there are rules to being a good improver. You know what I mean? Like, and you should learn them.
Don't just be out here loose.
Yeah. It's like saying whatever comes to your mind is not good improv.
Teach us. Give us a little bit of an acting. Like, how does that go? Like, I wanted to improv.
Okay. So you wanted to improv, and you're trying to belittle the other character, right? And you tell that other character, like I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna blacken both of your eyes. I'm gonna do all this.
Rip your face off.
But in the next scene, I'm at a convention where I'm looking beautiful. Your improv is not gonna work for that.
Got it.
You need to read the whole script. And you also need to do something that works within your confinement of the.
Otherwise, you're ruining the whole day for everybody.
Of everybody, or like. If somebody's just like, if you want to laugh and take light of this situation, but this guy is who he is, maybe say, I don't know, Tommy Egan, then it's like, maybe Tommy like, what I would have to do is kill you. That's what Tommy would do.
Right.
So you're not allowing me to kill you. That's probably not a good improv.
Got it. So you can't just loose, willy-nilly improv. You have to take into consideration.
You have to be full enough into your character to know how that character would react to the other character or characters in the scene, and you have to know what that writer has written. That's what you're confined by. So whatever you can do within that. There's a book called The Art of the Rehearsal by George Bernard Shaw. People should check that out. That you need to find the freedom within your restrictions of the material.
Ooh. I'd love to learn something new today.
There you go. That one's for free.
You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Well, I adore you. I am so happy about
I love you.
You having this.
You're good to me.
Of course. And I look forward to seasons upon seasons.
Your lips to God's ears. I know that you have a direct line with the man upstairs. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, clearly you do too.
A little bit.
Clearly you're good. You're in his graces right now.
Amen.
So congratulations on his show. One time, please, Joseph Sikora, Spot 105.1.